We are live on a Friday.
Hey, it's a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I've been ready since Wednesday at 7:35, but somebody else hasn't been ready, so we're back.
Listen,
Um,
I would rather be
well,
back. I'd rather be back in the front end than back in the back end. So
I don't know, man. I heard the back end's pretty good these days. I've always heard
that's what they say.
uh you'd rather be in the back end than the front end. But hey, we're back, right?
We are
We're
back
back. Um, not on a Tuesday, not multiple times during a day, but on Friday
on
morning.
Friday.
Clubhouse. I am Bobby Kaboose. As always, we never know if he's going to show up. Lawson Turner, what's going on, man?
First of all, the day after NFL is officially back, of course I'm going to show up. Why would I not show up? We had the amazing MLB trade deadline yesterday. Then we had the
Yeah.
pre. Then it
Was
led
it
into the.
amazing?
I mean, a lot of stuff happened, kinda. There were.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was some there was some good shit that we'll get into, but
yeah, there's some really
uh,
interesting ones. But I think there's no other place that you would want to start more than your Dodgers picking up a 6-year-old starting pitcher.
wait, Rich Hill?
My bad, the second oldest pitcher in the league,
Who'd they pick up?
Charlie Morton.
Oh, the Tigers got Charlie Morton.
That's what I said. We'll start with your team getting the second oldest pitcher in the league.
For some reason, I thought you said the Dodgers, and I'm like, who the hell did the Dodgers get? Um, yeah, man, the Tigers did a whole lot of stuff, I guess. I don't know. They got a bunch of bullpen arms, and like you mentioned, Charlie Morton. The bullpen arms, it seems like they're all above 5 in the ERA category, which again, if you're in the bullpen, it's going to be escalated a little bit if you get knocked around, once or twice. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to feel. I don't think we really improved.
Mm.
The bullpen, I guess, a little bit, but like I was hoping for. I mean, we got Chris Paddock a couple days before,
Yeah.
so one starting pitcher, but I was really hoping for a bat, somewhere in there, and especially if Stephen Kwan was available. I don't know if he ended up getting traded or not.
Nah.
Um, but I would have loved to go get him, dude. He's a little fucking menace for us or against us, so why not have him on our team?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, as soon as Suarez got traded to the Mariners, I was like, well,
There goes my
unless you're
heavy bat.
yeah, unless you're gonna go get Nolan Arenado, um, I guess just whatever, dude. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I told you the whole season I don't feel good about this team, and
It is
I
what it
mean they're
is
gonna.
now.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, the Padres made big moves. I think the Padres had probably the best. Them or the Mets. The Mets like solidify the back end of their bullpen
I
pretty
re-
well.
I really loved what the Phillies did.
What they do?
They picked up Harrison Bader and Duran from the Twins. So
Yeah.
and Bader's always been solid defensive right fielder. With it's really funny to bring up because even though I think he's in his early 30s. I think he's 31, 32. I think he's batting 258, which if you were to rank it like in his career batting average, it's the third.
Mhm.
I think it's the third highest for a season that he has hit so far, and his 12 homers have already tied his career high in home runs in a season is 16. His second highest is
Mhm.
12, which is done like 4 or 5 times. I was looking it up this morning, and I'm like, well, you know, solid defender, good enough bat. Not that they don't have already enough good bats.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's crazy that you mentioned his average is 258, and like that's supposed to be good nowadays. Like it's crazy. Like I back when I was growing up watching baseball, like obviously your great hitters were hitting 300, but like a good average would be like 275, 280.
yeah. Now it's
And
like
now
258's
uh,
like okay.
yeah, yeah, and like probably 220 to 230 is probably average. But yeah,
Right.
dude, that's insane.
Do you
Um,
think, real quick, do you think it's because like the pitchers are just a lot better?
no, because it's because they don't. It's because they don't put value into just hitting the ball. Everything is like launch angle and home runs. Like it was. it's just like the analytic
Yeah.
thing, man. Like the Moneyball type shit, and
Hmm.
it's similar to like the 3-pointer in basketball, dude. Like they just value home runs, more than ever, and they don't care if you strike out. Like it's almost like I would rather have you strike out than hit into a double play,
Hmm.
which, yeah,
In theory,
theoretically,
right.
yeah. But if you put the ball in play, anything can really happen.
Look
So
at the World Series last year; it hit right off Judge's mitt. You know.
yeah, I mean, look at Bill Buckner, or Miguel Cabrera's hit as a rookie in 2003 or whatever. I think that he reached on somewhat of an air or something, but like
Yeah.
it, it's crazy to think that like it's people would value not putting the ball in play versus putting the ball in play. So
I saw I saw a short a couple months ago. I don't remember what baseball player it was, but you know how on like the MLB Network they'll have like a tee and like a professional player with a bat, and they'll kind of give like pointers and stuff like that for
yeah,
like your average audience.
yeah, and shit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember who it was, but he was explaining like he said for all the kids out there, if your coach tells you to get on top of the ball, you tell him no. When you hit grounders in the bigs, you're out. You get paid for doubles and home runs, so you want to square that bitch up. And they were like, oh, you swore on TV.
Oh man,
But yeah,
I thought you meant he was calling the kids a bitch. Like, don't be a bitch.
oh, you
Square
better
that shit.
square that puppy up and
Yeah,
send it over the wall. Yeah, though,
I
but
eat it for you like for breakfast.
yeah, though,
Yeah.
but I thought yesterday I thought you hit the nail right on the coffin. Whether it be the Padres or the Mets, either one of them, it's like okay,
Hmm.
they've really put themselves in a great spot to where talent should not be an issue.
Yeah, yeah. The Padres. I know the Padres gave up a lot of prospects getting the closer from Oakland, or not Oakland, but the Athletics.
Mason Miller,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, and I think they got one other pitcher from them.
J JP Sears, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So they they get that package. I think they gave up like 5 prospects, including their number one prospect. So but I mean, dude, prospects are so hard to tell if they're gonna do
hmm
anything. It's almost like, yeah, let's get a proven guy or proven couple guys that can help us win now,
yeah,
and we'll worry about those prospects later. Like look at I mean, speaking of Suarez, dude, he was a prospect for the Tigers at one point, and they traded him to Cincinnati, I believe. I forget who they got in return, but
yeah,
um
whoever.
yeah, I mean, it was years ago. I mean, the dude is in his mid 30s, and so this was probably 10, 15 years ago when they traded him.
hmm what was your take? And once again, he's not the superstar that he used to be, but what was your take on Carlos Correa going back to Houston?
I thought it was interesting because I didn't like I haven't heard that Carlos Correa was even available.
Right.
Because does he have one more year on his deal? Because I think he signed like a 3-year deal with Minnesota. I'm not sure.
I
Um,
I don't know how many more years left, but I saw Minnesota's willing to pay like 33 million of it to help with the salary cap, and I'm like,
insane, dude, because like I don't think he really panned out in Minnesota. And
no.
it was funny because he was I think he was in the free agent class with like Baez and who's the dude that ended up going to Boston. He was a shortstop. There was a couple shortstops. It wasn't Tulowitzki. It was one of Trevor Story. Trevor Story.
Hmm.
Um and I think there was like one or two other guys that were in that like free agent class, and I was like, man, if they could get Carlos Correa, Tigers get Carlos Correa, I was like, that would be fucking sick. And he didn't really do much in Minnesota, and then we got Baez, and he's an all-star this year, but he hasn't done shit. Um, first 4 years or whatever the hell he was here.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting like that. Like even shit like that, dude. Like you expect these big free agents to do something. Even Trevor Story, like, just struggled for a long time on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So um I think it's kind of interesting as far as like a little neat storyline and stuff. But like I said, I didn't even know he was available. The Twins went all fire sale, dude.
Bro,
They made
I
a
saw
ton of
some
money.
100%. They were definitely the sellers. Before they traded for Taj Bradley, I saw there were only two Twins under contract for next year. It was Pablo Lopez and Byron Buxton. Those were the only two that are under contract for next year. And I'm like, so what the hell are you gonna do with literally everybody else?
Right, just a bunch of rebuild or bring up. So I wonder that it brings up a good point, man. Like, are they gonna sign a bunch of high-end free agents, or are they gonna be like, all right, next year we're gonna just see what we got and go with it?
Do you think in baseball too? Well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to compare it to any other league due to there's no salary cap. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, could it be like in the NFL? How?
Tell
Oh, huh?
Bryce Harper that. You
Right.
heard about that
Oh,
from
he went
Stanford?
nose to
Fuck out
nose.
of
Yep, nose to nose. He said, "You can get the fuck out of our clubhouse." When that story came out, I was like, Bryce, you're kind of fucking with the head honcho of the
Right.
whole MLB. So I know he's a high emotional guy, and that's why we love and for some people don't like Bryce Harper.
Right.
No, though, but I was curious on your take because you brought up the point that maybe Minnesota could just go out and just give out a shitload of money. Um,
Hmm.
would you say it's comparable to the NFL in terms of like destinations, like Miami, like how Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville are considered like high destination spots due to warm weather? A team like the Rams, or it could, or vice versa, how like the Packers have never been a big time free agent, destination.
Not so much. I think it plays more of a role in football because you only play once a week.
Hmm.
And like so like I mean you're practicing obviously, but like you do have like a lot of free time to like hang out and like in you know, you're gonna probably choose Miami over Cleveland, right?
Right.
Like there's a lot of things to do in Miami, there's not much to do in Cleveland. Um Baseball, I think, is a little different just because they play every day.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, like how much free time do you actually have in the city that you're playing? And you probably, live somewhere else in the off season, right?
Yeah.
Like you're probably not gonna live in Minnesota if you're a baseball player. Or Detroit, during the winter, like you're probably gonna go somewhere warm. Um, but yeah, I think it plays less of a role than football,
Hmm.
as far as like the location of the team that you play.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously you're gonna get your New Yorks and stuff, and because the nostalgia and the
Massive
historical,
market stuff like that.
yeah, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I don't think it plays that much of a factor in compared to football because football, like you'll even hear like guys want to play in states that have no state taxes or
Yeah.
whatever fuck and warm weather and and they're playing they're obviously playing the games like a lot of them outside too so during the winter so
Hmm.
that plays a factor in it like baseball's got nice weather for the most part except for the first month of the season and the last month of the season. So, um, or the first couple weeks and the last couple weeks. I wouldn't say month,
Hmm.
but yeah, man. So I don't think it's as weighted on as far as like, oh, I need to be in a warm city or I want to be in a big, whatever. I think it's just okay. This is where I'm going. Plus, it's more of a there's more Latinos, right? So I think they care less than, the population that plays football, African Americans or whites or whatever. Like, I think they just don't care. Like, a lot of them don't speak English, to be honest with you. Like, they probably just don't fucking care, dude.
I
They're like, all
saw.
right, we're gonna go back to our, back to the, Dominican or wherever they're from, in the off season.
Mhm. It's. I was gonna say it's really interesting, when it comes to where you want to live, or because baseball is, as previously mentioned, there's no salary cap, so it's just,
Mhm.
oh, am I just gonna go whoever signed the biggest check?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I like, and that's why I feel like, teams like Pittsburgh and Tampa and teams that don't spend that much money, it's hard for them to get free agents, and I think they have to pretty much overpay. Like look at a perfect example. Look at Luis Severino,
Mm.
with um the team formerly residing in Oakland, the
The
Athletics. Like they had
Sacramento, the Sacramento Athletic.
yeah, the Sac Athletics. Sac Sac. I'm trying to put those two words together.
Sathletics. Sathletics.
Sathletics. Yeah, Sacletics. The Sacletics. They had to overpay for Severino in my opinion, and
Yeah.
they made that splash deal and shocked the baseball world at the time. But yeah, I mean, certain low market teams they have to overspend and to
Mm-hmm.
get guys in their. But I don't think it has anything to do with location. I think it's like, okay, do I want to win? Who's got the hot team and who's going to pay me the most? So,
Mm-hmm. Do you think a team like Tampa or Pittsburgh, like in terms of rebuilding or paying 30% on the dollar to get these
mhm.
free agents, or they could luck into like a Paul Skeens then try and trade for someone's whole like prospect list?
As far as how to rebuild,
Yeah, or like what would be
I
more
mean,
feasible?
um, I think it would be. So, with Pittsburgh with Paul Skeens, I mean, they have some good people. I mean, they traded Brian Hayes the other day, but
Yeah.
they have Reynolds, they had O'Neal Cruz. I mean, you get like these top prospects if you're, bad for long enough, but it just takes so long for them to develop. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
you have a guy like Paul Skeens. Luckily, you have him under control for, 7 years or so before you have to even negotiate a contract. So, I think that like for people that were like, oh, they should trade Paul Skeens or someone should go get. It's not going to happen until, a year or two before he becomes a free agent. Like, if you really want to get some fucking prospects, you're going to trade him with, a year or two or 2 years on his contract. If it's a selling at that year, you're going to get a little less because he's going to be probably a rental to whoever he gets traded to, unless they can work out a full, a new deal.
Mm.
But I think it's almost like how the Tigers are this year. Like, it's Tigers didn't spend for years and years and years. They got Baez and that like Eduardo Rodriguez a few years ago, and that was like their big off-season signings. And you're like, okay, that didn't really move the needle at all. But you develop these dudes and the prospects, and if they hit, like Pittsburgh has a chance. That's why Tampa is always kind of in the mix because they draft and scout so well. And then they know the right opportunity to get rid of the guy. Like, I mean, who is the Meadows? Um, I don't know if it's Andrew Meadows or Austin Meadows because I think we had both of them. Or
Mm-hmm.
We had Parker Meadows. Parker Meadows, his brother, Austin Meadows, I think his name is. He was supposed to be better than Parker Meadows, and like he had a great year, great couple years in Tampa, and then we trade for him for Paredes, Isaac Paredes,
Yeah.
and Paredes he couldn't even fit in our lineup, and he sucked. He goes to Tampa, he leads the team in home runs, and then we get Meadows, and he plays like 3 games, and he's got vertigo for the rest of his life. We're like, what the fuck? Like, you don't trade with Tampa Bay. Like, their scouts and their front office, they just. It seems like they know shit. Like it's like dealing with the Spurs. Like you always knew if like the Spurs and Popovich was going to make a trade, you're not getting the good end of the trade, dude. Like they know something. They know this guy's time is up.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It's kind of like the hesitancy whenever you would draft players from Alabama, because it's like, Nick, they've already gotten top tier coaching. How much better are they gonna be? They could be
Hmm.
solid. They could be solid when they come in, but like Nick Saban has squeezed every ounce of juice
Right.
out of that fruit.
Right. Well, I always said like, like the usually, you know, um and I don't have stats to back it up, but
Right.
uh but it seems like that most NFL quarterbacks come from smaller schools, or like, they don't come from Bama, they don't come from
George,
Georgia.
right?
It's like if I were a top prospect, a top high school prospect going into college, yeah, of course I would want to play in the SEC or the Big Ten, or big time conference. But I would seriously think about going to a school like Vanderbilt, or a school like Purdue, or
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 Texas Tech.
somewhere. Right. So somewhere that you're playing against the competition, not joining the competition. I
Yeah,
don't want to be a LeBron. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just going to join your team and try to win a championship. LeBron, Kevin Durant. I don't want to be that. I want to be Michael Jordan, and I want to face the best, and I want to, do this.
yeah.
So
It's
he's the GOAT for LeBron.
it's like it's the essence in which the stigma around like Big Ten quarterbacks for so long. Like if
Hmm.
you're a quarterback in the Big Ten, whether it be Texas, like forever it was quarterbacks at Texas Tech. They're gonna put up a gazillion yards, or
Hmm.
Oklahoma, but they're gonna be middle of the pack to below average, NFL quarterbacks. And then you look at Ohio State, their best quarterback, so far has been Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud. We'll see how Stroud's, career, continues to go. But yeah, it's really interesting as to how like you could have the number one pick in baseball 10 years in a row, and maybe two of them will like pan out and be all stars.
Right. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about the LeBron comment, but
I
anyway,
was
it's
I
early.
was sliding it under the rug. I was just letting it go. It's all good.
Because you had nothing to say. Um,
Dick.
but no, I thought the best Ohio State quarterback ever was Craig Krenzel.
That was before my time.
You don't know Craig Krenzel?
Nah.
He won a national championship with Ohio State like in like 2000, so like in the very early 2000s, I think.
Mm.
Uh, and he actually went to my high school, and then he got drafted. Um, I forget where he got drafted, but he just like quit football and became a doctor.
I thought it was Cardell Jones.
No,
I thought
not Cardell.
Cardell Jones was the best Ohio State quarterback ever.
No, didn't he turn into a receiver or something?
Something. I
Or,
know
what, Braxton Miller? Didn't he turn into something else?
Braxton Miller turned into a receiver. Yeah, he was so electric to watch.
Oh yeah, so was Denard Robinson, that bum.
Denard Robinson was also really fun to watch.
Mr. September Heisman. Oh
It's
my God, that shit would be so annoying, dude. Especially as a Michigan State fan, like people would be calling, the North needs to be the Heisman. I'm like, dude, you played UTEP and fucking Appalachian State, like, and Delaware, or name fucking the terrible fucking school at the beginning. Yeah, you're gonna run for fucking 200 yards. Like play a fucking real team,
that's
and then
like
yeah, after September, he wouldn't be considered a Heisman candidate anymore. And then look at him in the NFL; he turns into a running back, and he can't even do that.
That's like when the first, I think it was the first 2 weeks, when Ashton Genty was, putting up a gazillion yards. Well,
Mm.
granted, he put up a gazillion yards the whole season. However, for the
Yeah.
first two, it was like 26 carries for 200 and, like 80 yards and 4 touchdowns,
Hmm.
some stupid. I was like, okay, I want to see, they got Oregon coming up. And that
Yeah.
motherfucker was doing it against Oregon. I was like, oh, fuck. He almost single handedly beat, Oregon damn near by himself. It's really interesting too because you can get a lot of those not just quarterbacks in general, but players that put up gaudy stats due to the conference they play
Well,
in.
yeah. Like, I mean, Kenneth Walker made his name against Michigan, dude. Like,
Going
he
crazy.
basically single-handedly beat him on the Spartans. He had 5 touchdowns, and he was making the defense look fucking silly. Um, but yeah, speaking of football, dude, I'm a little worried now. I don't know if my Lions are gonna win a game this year. I think they might go 0-17 after last night's performance. That's how much stock I'm putting into the preseason. The Lions, I don't think will win a game this year now. I'm so worried. At least we're gonna get the number one pick. We could probably get Arch Manning and put him behind Goff and have Goff,
Coach him up.
uh, yeah, under Goff's tutelage. But so I'm thankful for that. But man, it's gonna be a long NFL season
Did you watch
because
any of it?
oh, I watched. I watched enough. We weren't paying too much attention to it, but we were there, or not there at the game, but
Yeah,
we were watching.
watching.
At a local watering hole.
Because I'm a junkie, I watched every snap of it. And the moment I was like, "Oh hell, this
Probably
is,"
the replay too.
and yeah. Anyways, so the part that made me initially sick was when y'all. I don't know if he. I think they said on the broadcast he was a line. I don't know if they said he was a linebacker that was just returning it just to return it or whatever. But when I saw him get tackled and that ball pop out, I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be bad immediately. And Steelers legend Kyle Allen looked great till he wasn't. And when he threw that 60-yard yick, I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna get ugly fast. Because I'm also a degenerate. I had a I had a play in the I had a couple parlays going. I had Omari and Hampton over 19.5 rushing. That fumble fucked me because they gave him a short field. He had 2 carries for 9 yards and they took him out. And I was like, dicks.
That's why you don't fucking bet on preseason, you dip.
The other one hit, so oh well. Hey,
But yeah, man. So are you one of these people that actually put stock into this shit?
not the Hall of Fame game. I'll put stock. I'll start to put stock in it, like because there's not 4 games anymore. Like
Yeah.
the second and third preseason game, that's when I'll start to put a little bit of stock. Just
They
because
don't play anyone.
they do towards the end.
No, they don't. All the starters don't even fucking play anymore. The starting quarterbacks, no starting quarterback plays unless there's a competition. And usually they only get one drive.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's fucking stupid. Like it's like just eliminate the fucking preseason already. Like no one fucking cares. Go to your 18 games, have your fucking 2 little fucking flag football games, and just be stupid. Like it's a waste of fucking time.
I remember the last time I put crazy stock into the preseason, it bit me in the ass. So I don't put crazy stock in it no more. Last time I put
When
stock, huh?
when I realized the preseason was fucking garbage was when the Lions went undefeated in the preseason and then they went 0-16.
Dude, I remember when the Ravens had like a 28 game preseason win streak. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And then I think it was the Lions that actually snapped it. It was like the Lions and the Colts or some team wearing blue. Yeah, the last time I remember putting like super stock into it and just talking shit to talk shit was Kenny Pickett's last year. He had like a perfect QBR through every game, and I'm like, yeah, we're fucking going. I remember because they played in Atlanta for the last one, and we beat the fuck out of the Falcons like 30-0, and I'm trolling Falcons fans at the game and on Twitter. I'm like, Steelers are going to the fucking Super Bowl. The Falcons are gonna have a top 5 pick. They fucking suck and the blow, and we're the best. And then some Atlanta dickhead was commenting on my tweets, so we were just going,
Atlanta John?
huh?
Atlanta John?
Probably.
Buffalo John?
Yeah, probably Buffalo John's cousin. But yeah, dude, like I put once again the minimalistic stock I could ever purchase. That's how much I put into it. I'm not, saying it'll make or break Super Bowls, but I want to see how, like, I just want to see, especially for rookies, I want to see touch on these vanilla defenses that, obviously you're either getting, 1 or 2 safety eye, nothing's really getting disguised, and I want to see, for a lot of the, the defensive linemen, I want to see, I want to see their jump off the ball. I want to see their footwork. I want to see their hands. Just certain things that can really, that's going to be something he's going to need to work on. Oh, there are some players that, they look really shifty, on TV, especially a lot of these rookies. Like Amari and Hampton, for his, second and last carry, he broke to the outside. And I'm like, okay, what's he going to do one-on-one against a corner? And Rocky Ya-Sin, I think he's a 8-year veteran in the NFL, brought his ass down with ease. And I was like, oh, so he's either going to need to he's going to need to think as opposed to instantly react, or instantly react as opposed to overthink. Because I thought, one on one with a corner going to the edge, he overthunk a little bit and just kind of stuck his arm out like, but then grab, tackled.
With all due respect, and
Yeah,
I mean with all due respect, you need to get a life, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, you're putting this much stock into a preseason game with footwork and shit. Why
yeah.
aren't you just an NFL scout at this point?
I'm trying, bro.
Man,
Dude, on
you know what?
my
I saw some big dude that looked like a lion with a mane fumble the ball. That's what I fucking saw. I didn't care about his footwork. I was like, well, this guy's getting cut because you just fucking fumbled the fucking opening kickoff,
I was
and now
ta-
you.
I was talking to my boys after the game, and I was like, their special teams coach is gonna get a fucking earful of Dan Campbell. You muffed a fucking punt. You fumbled the opening kickoff. You put a linebacker out there just for the fuck of it. Like, once again, I understand it's the Hall of Fame game. It doesn't mean Tim Diddley Dick. However, I'm not finna have a linebacker out there returning the first kick.
We're gonna look back at this game and be like, yep, that's why the Lions went 0-17. Oh God, dude. And it's kind of sad that Hendon Hooker um is behind Kyle Allen. Hooker I mean he was a third round pick, dude, and
I
I think
remember when y'all took Hendon
I think
Hooker.
they traded up to get him. I was excited when they got him. I was like, okay, he had a good career in college until he got hurt, and
Mm,
I was like, if he comes back, 90%, he's still gonna be better than most quarterbacks. And yeah, dude, I don't know.
mm.
Like for him to like be like solidified at number 3 for like his whole career, and like sometimes like an emergency quarterback, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
I remember watching Hendon Hooker in college. That was the no, I don't know why I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Josh Dobbs instead of Hendon Hooker. I don't know why. I was thinking of the Hail Mary that when Tennessee beat Tennessee beat Georgia on some wanky Hail Mary in Tennessee. It was just some, once again, just I have unlimited random just plays in my head.
That game was that was Colorado, and that was Cordell Stewart. That's what you're thinking of.
We don't disrespect Slash around here.
Or it was Doug Flutie with his Hail Mary.
I
That's
remember,
what you're thinking of. Dude,
yo,
Cordell Stewart played like 7 different positions.
that's why his nickname was Slash. He
He
was a
was he was awesome.
he was a quarterback slash receiver slash running back. He was awesome. That is still like, once again, I wasn't around, but going back and watching, I'm like, damn, I wish they could have won that AFC Championship game against, I think it was New England in the '90s when they got beat the fuck up by the Packers.
Yeah, in the late 90s.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know he made an AFC Championship game, yeah, but there was just some. Yo, do you remember the iconic? I don't remember the fucking teams. When the band came on the fucking field, when like the
yeah,
last play was still going.
that was before my time. I think that happened in the 80s. It was Stanford, right? Stanford and someone, and they're like, and
Yeah,
then the guy gets like fucking derailed.
I I love when just wild shit happens. Like,
Oh,
huh?
awesome. It's awesome. Like, dude, I was watching the Malice in the Palace live, and I remember like laying on the couch and like it started breaking out. My dad was laying on the other couch, like we had like a little
Yeah.
section or whatever, and he was sleeping, and I was like, Dad, and he's like, what? And I was like, wake up. I go, look at this, and he's like, what is going on? And
Beating the
fucking
shit out
like
of
Rob
fans.
was like beating up some dude in the stands and shit, and I was like, dude, this is fucking nuts.
Did you hear Steven Jackson's story about this when they got back in the locker room?
I'm sure I watched the little doc, so if it was on the doc, I seen it. What did
He was on Rich Eisen's show maybe like 8 years ago or something, and they were talking about it, and he said afterwards, Stack is sitting at his locker. Ron walks up and sits right next to him, and the first words out of Ron Artest, aka Meta World Peace, said to Stacks, he said, You think we're gonna get in trouble? And Stan looked at him and said, "You think we're gonna get in trouble? We're lucky if we're gonna have a job."
Man. I just remember Jermaine O'Neal like punching that fat dude on the
Dude, yeah. Yo,
court.
do you remember a couple years ago when it wasn't Mouse in the Palace 2.0, but when Isaiah Stewart kept charging after LeBron and Westbrook squared up and he kept like rushing at him 3 times, then sprinted up the tunnel? And dude, all you hear, other than the announcers, you hear like the dude on the PA, "Fans, stay in your seats. Do not run on the court." I'm like, dog, no.
But yeah, dude, that shit was absolutely insane. They didn't even finish the game. There was like 10 seconds left or
There was,
something because they
yeah.
fucking Ben Wallace, and that started, and then the fucking beer came, and oh god, what a great time to be a Pistons fan.
Apparently, Ron Artest ended up getting the guy who threw the beer's number, and now like they're like semi cool, and they call each other that once a year, and just to shoot the shit about it. And I'm like, dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, he like I remember him coming out and he was like, "Man, he's like I love Detroit." He's like, "But Auburn Hills, fuck them," because they used to play out in the burbs at the
That's
Palace
funny.
of Auburn Hills. So, yeah, he was like, "Man, he's like fuck those people." He's like, "Detroit is cool as fuck, but fuck them out there, out in the burbs."
That's
But
awesome.
now we play in the city. So.
Now y'all play in the city.
Now we play in the city. See the thing I don't like,
It's still
right?
Caesar's Palace, right? Or Caesar's
Little
Arena.
Caesars,
Yeah.
LCA, which I want to take credit for the first one to dub it the LCA because like when they said it was gonna be Little Caesars Arena, I was like, that's dumb as fuck. I'm gonna call it the LCA. That sounds okay. And then people were like, my friends were like, oh, that does sound okay. And I'm like, all right, and so I want to take credit for dubbing the term LCA for it, but
Registered
it was nuts
trademark.
because the in I think 2000 the Lions moved down to Detroit. They used to play in Pontiac, which is another burb north of Detroit. And not the greatest area, but it was nice that you didn't have to go downtown. The Red Wings always played downtown as far as in my lifetime. And the Tigers always played downtown. So it was nice when the Pistons didn't because it was kind of a change of pace. And you're like, okay, you can go out into the burbs. The problem was there was nothing around. Like it was literally like the stadium, and like there was nothing. Like there was no bars around. There was
It's
no
kind of like the Chiefs
restaurants. Like
Stadium.
yeah, there was like one place like across the street, and that was it, and one gas station. And it, they only had 2 exits for the parking, so like it did, back up a lot at the end of the game. So it would be like the typical like let's leave a little early so we can beat traffic.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. But it was a nice change of pace. Now all 4 of our major sports teams are downtown, and so you have to go to the city of Detroit, like in the heart of it, to go to any of these games. And luckily we have decent parking around the city, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg. Dude, we went to SummerSlam a couple years ago, and we went like way early. Like, we got there at like noon or 1 to like just tailgate and
hang out,
drink in the park, hang out, and dude, we got like I think $80 parking. There was lots for like $200, and I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude.
Dude, when me and my boy went to the Seahawks played the Falcons in Atlanta, so he's a Seahawks fan, so we went. Bro, there were certain parking lots that wanted like 220, and we're like, dude, fuck you, dude. Like, no. Did you see during the draft and for Green Bay games? Because the stadium's right next to a fucking neighborhood. People, they'll put like picket signs in their yard and say, "Hey, you can park in my yard, $100."
Yeah, 100%, dude. And like it almost gets to a point where you're like, okay, let's drive like 5 miles away, park, and get an Uber,
dude.
You know,
That's a great idea.
yeah, fucking. That's what they call me. They call me Great Idea Bobby.
Big.
GIB. The Gib.
I was gonna say
Not Gib.
BB.
Gib.
I was
The
gonna.
Gib.
I was gonna say BBB. Big brain boost.
Uh, I mean, Big Baller Bread.
Bless you.
Sneeze. Thank you. Live.
Be careful.
We do this show live.
Bless you.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
We do this show live.
It's
Um,
live and uncensored. Anything could happen. Even me sneezing a couple times and starting to my eyes are tearing up. Ugh.
since you brought up SummerSlam, isn't SummerSlam this weekend?
It is.
Well,
And
do you want
I
to?
don't want to get into it today because
You don't want to what?
if I don't want to get into it today.
Well, yeah, but don't you? But don't we have a special announcement?
That's what I was getting into. I don't want to get into SummerSlam today. We're gonna get into SummerSlam tomorrow, and we're gonna be live tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, but it's gonna be in the morning, probably before noon Eastern Standard Time. So, make sure you join us tomorrow for our SummerSlam preview and what should happen at the biggest biggest party of the summer.
Not what's gonna
Biggest
happen.
party.
What should happen?
And it will happen because whatever we say should and will happen.
Have you seen any of the WWE what's it called?
Unreal?
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but
I've all 5 episodes.
There's 5 episodes.
Yeah, I binge watched it.
I've seen an ass load of clips. I've seen a shit ton of clips. I saw one where they were all doing like intros where it's like, you know, Triple H is like, my actual name is Paul Levesque. Some people call me, you know, Triple H Hunter, and you know, it then went to John Cena, then it went to CM Punk. Someone was like, "How the fuck CM Punk get all these dumbass nicknames?" He's like, "Call me Punk, like, Punker, Cookie Monster, you know, Pepsi Punk, Pepsi Phil, and you know, just all kinds of shit." And I was thinking about it, I'm like, who the fuck calls Punk Cookie Monster? I get it, Pepsi Phil for, you know, the Pepsi product.
I mean, it's like me, dude. Like if I would be on there, I'd be like, you know, they call me Bobby Caboose, Bobby K. All like I would have like 1,000 fucking like the whole screen would fucking it'd just be like line, man of the 1,000 nicknames, master of the Texas Cloverleaf, you know, all this shit. So dude, I was really intrigued by this show, and it's I think it's awesome. It almost like made me realize that like that would be my absolute I think dream job would be in creative in WWE. Like it's like
sitting around in the board spitting ideas back and forth.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Who should win the Rumble? Heath Slater. Heath Slater should win the Rumble, and this is why.
I saw the clip of that of when they were spitballing ideas on who should win, and I'm always intrigued as to the out of the box thinking, because these two immediate answers were Cena or Punk, and it's like no, let's get some interesting stuff going on, because obviously that's gonna happen, right?
And some of the years, dude, like some of the years, it's like it's so obvious who's gonna win the fucking Rumble. Like Cody winning, I'm like, or Charlotte this year, I'm like, come on, like that's so obvious. Like you don't need Charlotte or Cody to win the Rumble to have them get a title shot.
No,
you know,
and it was the point they brought up. Oh, we'll do Cena, Rumble, Punk, Chamber, and it's like that's too fucking obvious, dude.
Right. And yeah, so like the idea, the one guy's idea was like you know, number 28 and 29 eliminate each other, and Chelsea Green comes in at number 30 and there's nobody in the ring. I would have thought that would have been a brilliant idea.
That would have been a crazy idea. Now they can't do it next year. They got to wait a couple years before they do something like that, because everyone's going to say, "Oh, they thought about it last year," you know.
Right.
I remember.
Yeah, that's the only issue if something like that does happen, like on the show. And you know, people are like, some people are giving, you know, backlash on it, like, oh, you know, they're exposing the business. Dude, they're talking about shit like that happened 6 months ago. It's not like you're getting the results of Raw tomorrow, you know, today or SmackDown tonight. You know, like it's like, okay, you obviously already saw this play out. Unless you don't watch wrestling, then why does it matter anyway? You
Mm-hmm.
know, so um, some like Dave Meltzer came out and said that like someone close in the show says that Triple H wants to be portrayed as the Dana White, and like be like bigger than the superstars, and I'm like. I don't think that's the case at all. They didn't really. I mean, Triple H obviously was part of the show, but they didn't really focus on him. They focused on, Cena, Charlotte, um, Jey Uso, um,
Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley, because I
yeah,
saw
yeah, yeah.
I saw they had like not
Um,
cameo, not cameos, but those were like the introductory people.
Right, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So, obviously Triple H is going to be in it, but like I don't think he's trying to get himself over. I think that's fucking a ridiculous take. I think it's
Yeah,
like it's interesting because like WWE will give like NIL deals to future wrestlers and shit. What about future writers? Can't I get an NIL deal? Can't that be a thing? How do
I
I become that?
I wonder how one
How to be
becomes.
a superstar?
I wonder how one becomes one on one of the seats of the of the table.
I don't know, man. Apply on WWE.com/careers.
I
I'm for
remember.
real. Like I'll see on Twitter sometimes that I forget it gets in my algorithm because
Yeah,
I look at some wrestling shit, but it's like someone will post like when WWE has like
an opening.
a job opening on their website.
I remember when I I first realized how in depth it was when I went to my graduation. One of my boys, he's super big into wrestling. He said uh, that WWE had a former Marvel writer on the staff, which is how they were. And he said, well, my thought process with that is they're gonna have the end game esque, bring everybody together to stop Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
and lo and behold, it was overbooked and it was awesome.
Yeah. And see, I don't even want to be a writer for them. I just want to be that like the one guy that is in there like, okay, what do we need to do for the Rumble? And like the guy that brought up the Chelsea Green idea. That's all I want to do is come up with ideas. Like, oh, hey, why don't we have Heath Slater win the Rumble and this is the story going up to WrestleMania. Obviously, he loses his opportunity because it's Heath Slater. But we get there, and I would be able to lay that out for them.
They don't
And
even have to take your ideas; you just want to hear them.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, and then either that, yeah, and just be like, I could just be like, the Vince Russo, and be like, okay, just throw a bunch of ideas, and then when an idea sticks, someone else writes it. I just want to come up with the ideas.
yeah. It's really interesting, to see some people's thought processes when it comes to their ideas and stuff. Especially when you're dealing with something and people that big with that much magnitude around the world. You're like, okay, thought process on the Chelsea Green thing. Obviously, it's a great idea. It's intriguing. The only time that it's ever been, like the eliminate each other was, the Batista Cena shit, which was an all-time hilarious.
Luger and Bret Hart did that too in '94.
Oh, they did?
They were both announced winners. Yep. It was actually on purpose. The Batista and Cena thing wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, that
They
was.
fucked.
It's even more funny because, to my knowledge, I don't think anyone's ever came out and said who was supposed to win.
Yeah.
I assume Batista because he did end up winning, but my favorite part of the whole story is about Vince tearing both his quads, and just shouting orders from his ass. Have you seen Edge say his perspective?
No.
He was on, I think it was like Inside the Ropes podcast, like in 20 like 15, 16 or something, right? And he said that infamous moment. People forget I was the third to last guy. And he said, he gets eliminated. He's laying out, and as he's about to walk back, he turns and sees them both laying at the exact same time. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And then he just sees Vince, come out here, fucking walking, slams his coat off, tries to dive in the ring, stands up, gets back down, and starts fucking, barking orders. And he's like, "Oh, this is weird." And he said he goes back to the back and he's, getting undressed and dressed up to leave and stuff like that. And they cleared out the hall. They cleared out the hallways. So Vince McMahon on two torn fucking quads could walk himself because he refused medical attention all the way to the back. And then because it was so funny because Edge tells that story with just that third over the top perspective. He's like, yeah, and I don't know how Vince at 60 on two torn quads walked back up the aisle. But yeah, it's just so funny because he's genuinely pissed or he's playing the character and he's just sitting on his ass barking orders at officials. And both men, it's an all-time hilarious moment that shouldn't have happened.
Right. And so yeah, I just want to be in the room and be like, Triple H, like, Hunter, I got a great idea, right? It's never been done before. I have this character who's half nun, half man. We call him Nun Man, and he's got a bunch of goons and like Vampiro and Banana Stein and Stitches. I'm trying to think of more. Man Witch. He was a half man, half witch. Who was another goon? Slaying Mantis. Slaying Mantis. Look at that group, man. The goons.
Slaying
They're from
Mantis.
Slaying Mantis. He was big and he was huge. Slaying
if my life had DVR, I'd rewind 15 seconds about 88 times. He's big.
Big. Slaying Mantis, dude. But yeah, Banana Stein was a popular one. Vampiro.
I want
Todd Campbell, the Soup Boy.
The Soup Boy. I assume it's around the same table, but I wonder how they develop like characters.
Oh, yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Like we're like, hey, we have a banana costume and we have a Frankenstein mask. What are we gonna call him? Banana Stein. That's how we do it.
Not you dingus, like WWE. Oh, okay. I mean,
I thought you meant 64 Legends Wrestling, man. So
I already know damn near how y'all do it. Oh, y'all probably just take edibles, sit around in the corner, and just think and spit shit out.
Well, that's what WWE does. They got it from us. We're like, hey, like I said, we have a banana costume and we have a Frankenstein mask or something that looks like a Frankenstein mask. What are we gonna call this guy? Banana Stein.
Well, I mean, you could.
As Nunman said, he's the ripest of the bunch.
So funny.
Dude, so the first year we're doing this for 64-bit Legends Royal Rumble. I'm dressed up as Nun Man, and I'm like, we're like, all right, what the fuck are we gonna call this guy? And I was like, I don't know, dude, just Nun Man, like, we'll just half nun, half man. And Vampiro was his first goon, and so my buddy Y2 Drew. He puts this fucking makeup on and shit, and he's got this little cape like it's very small on him, and so I'm doing the promo, and I'm like, okay, Nunman is gonna be like the Paul Heyman, right? Like he's gonna have a group of guys, and like he'll have a different goon every year, and whatever. So I'm doing the promo, and especially the first year, like, I mean, sometimes, dude, we would take like fucking like 10 takes because like we're just not used to it. Like we don't know what to say. Like it's a little harder than
you're trying to get in the character.
Yeah, you try to get in the character. You don't know what you're gonna say. Blah 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 blah. So I'm going to the shtick and I'm like, I'm Nun Man. Da, 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 da. Like, because I was like, okay, like I need like a Paul Heyman thing where he's like, ladies and gentlemen, my name. So I was like, I go, hello, gentlemen. It's like, I am Nun Man, going all the shit, whatever. So we're going through the takes because I keep fucking up or we keep laughing or whatever. And Y2 Drew is like, hey, it's not about you. It's about me. Because like like Nunman wasn't supposed to enter the Rumble at all.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I go, but I need to like make sure they know who I am so they know who you are. So so there's a famous line for us that it's not about you, right? So the next year in the Rumble, Nunman actually enters. I forget who his goon was that year. It might have been Banana Stein. He might have been the second one. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
So he Nunman actually enters the Rumble, and I don't think he was supposed to, but we needed storyline wise, he needed to enter the Rumble. Well, he ends up winning the thing, right? And he ends up winning. We used to have a show called Turnbuckle Tuesday, and we would do like these little promos. We would have like three, four. We'd probably have like 5 or 6 matches, and then we'd have like 3 promos that we would shoot and like storylines and stuff. So like Sam WO, his evil brother Dan WO came and he destroyed all of his toys in the garage, and they met at Hell in the Cell because Sam WO tried to set Dan WO on fire, when they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nunman and the goons captured Varsity Stu's dad and tied him up and like put out a video, and Varsity Stu's dad's like, Varsity Stu, you gotta come save me. Nunman is taking me down to the nunnery and he's gonna spray holy water on me, or whatever the fuck. And like, so he had to come save him. So that was building up for the championship match because Nunman won the Rumble. Nunman ended up winning the championship, and he was champion for like 3 years, right? He just lost this past Rumble season
he was
to
the Roman Reigns.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So he lost to Gary Galaxy. Actually, his name's Astro Dynamo, but his friends call him Gary Galaxy. So he is now our champion, but the famous line of "It's not about you." Well, yes, it is, Vampiro, because Nunman is the longest reigning champion in 64-bit Legends wrestling history, and if we ever have a Hall of Fame, Nunman will probably be the first inductee.
It's awesome.
So,
it's so funny.
Little backstory.
That is a nice little backstory. It is. You know what time it is? It's Nerfy time.
Nerfy?
It's
Nerfy time? Did every game have a run in the first inning yesterday?
Only one did.
Oh, stupid Yankees.
Yeah. Big Giancarlo hit a 2-run homer.
Damn it.
Was it a 3-run homer? They scored 3 in the bottom.
He had a home run like 2015, and now he does it to fucking. Yep.
There was a 1-run single and then a 2-run homer. Oh, bro, did you see the 8th inning in the Braves Reds yesterday?
No.
There was 16 combined runs scored in the 8th inning.
All right.
It was fucking insane.
That does sound insane. Nerfy wise.
Give it to me.
I got it. All right, so I'm gonna go with yesterday's biggest sellers, the Minnesota Twins. They are taking on the Cleveland Guardians. We all know Ohio sucks, so Joe Ryan should be able to get through 3 batters, I'm sorry, with no runs. He's 10-5. We don't care about the record. What we care about is the ERA. He's got a 2.82 ERA with 137 strikeouts. So the dude gets swings and misses, and we care about that a lot. They're going against Gavin Williams. He is 6-4. 3.51 ERA with 109 strikeouts. So we're gonna have 2 immaculate innings. We're not gonna sweat, and we're gonna have the Twins and Guardians be able to cash your Nerfy of the day. Boom.
Sounds like a winner. Give me. You know what? It's not smart, but I'm gonna go with my. Oh fuck! Never mind. Never fucking mind. Absolutely not.
What game were you gonna pick?
I was looking at the Yankees and Marlins because my boy Rodon is pitching. However, This man, Jansen Junk, is allowing a 625 batting average against this Yankees lineup. Absolutely the fuck not. Oh, here we go. Give me the Giants and the Mets. We got, uh, another one of my wagons. Robbie Ray taking on
Or
David Pet,
Tiger.
former Detroit Tiger. Also Cy Young winner when he was with the.
Arizona Diamondbacks?
No, when he was with the.
No. Blue Jays?
Yes.
Blue Jays. Blue Jays got
Big
better.
fan. They got. Speaking of Cy Young winners, they picked one up.
Yep.
They
Blue Jays got better.
They picked up the Beebs.
Yeah, they did get the Beebs.
Robbie Ray has a 9.5 record, a 2.93 ERA, and has 134 strikeouts, which is enough for. Damn, it's only 15. Oh, motherfuckers is striking out. He's giving up a 248 batting average against the Mets lineup. David Pedersen is a 7-4 record with a 283 ERA and a 101 Ks on the season, and is giving up a 266 batting average. 1-2-3 innings for both. Yeah, two lefties going against each other. It was so fun. Well, I saw your goofy ass face when I was looking up like the strikeout totals. Like y'all are. I say y'all. Well, Mr. Crochet's number one at 175. Wheeler, the Wheelie Man is at second at 172. Then it's Scooble at 171. What's even more funny is Scooble and Wheeler are going against each other tomorrow.
Good matchup. Good matchup.
It'll be a really good matchup.
So, check us out Mondays, sometimes Wednesdays, Fridays, 7:30 Eastern time, AM. Join us for breakfast. Get your Captain Crunch, no milk. Just eat it dry. Have your milk on the side if you need that, or grab a coffee, or if you need some caffeine, grab a pop or a 5-hour energy.
I have an interjection. I'm tired of you saying we're out here raw dogging cereal. Put your milk in the fucking bowl.
No.
Don't be a cereal's good dry, but we're not raw dogging it every morning.
And congratulations, that just got you canned. And I will have a new co-host starting next week. Because we don't eat wet cereal around here. We like our cereal dry. We don't like it moist. So grab your Captain Crunch, grab your beverage on the side, or get your flimsy bacon, some sausage, some pancakes. No syrup. Syrup's gross. Just butter those things up, or grab yourself some toast with some jelly. And join us for breakfast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like I said, check out newleafnews.com/.network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, horoscope shit. What do you call it? Space magic.
Space magic.
Space magic. I already said entertainment.
I don't know, but throw entertainment back in there.
Yeah, entertainment, politics, music, whatever the fuck. Go check us out. We're obviously on YouTube Live. Go subscribe, hit comment, like, all that crap. Go check us out on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter. Or no, I already said X. Facebook, TikTok, all those social medias. We're everywhere. It's at New Leaf News. If you like podcasts, there's a section for pods and more under the newleafnews.com/.network. You'll see my other show, 64-Bit Legends. The latest episodes will be posted over there. Check us out at 64-Bit Legends on the gram, on X. And that's what we were talking about as far as Nunman and his goons, 64-Bit Legends Wrestling. You can see all the promos on our social media. So you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say there is a half man, half nun, and he is ruling over the wrestling world as we speak. So check that out. Check me out on X, Instagram. I am at Bobby Kaboose. This is at Lawson_1226. We all know those numbers mean something. We're no longer Christmas in July. We are Hanukkah in August. So, that when the season comes, when the holiday season comes, make sure you have some extra money. That's why I'm giving you a chance to get your gifts now for Lawson. He's never had a birthday gift in his life. In his life. So, because no one cares about the day after Christmas. I don't care. She don't care. He don't care. And he don't care. So how are we supposed to care? So, start saving up. Start knocking those wish list items out. He's got like, I think, what are you up to? 46 pages of wish list stuff. There's a lot of shit, man. I think there's a house on there. Go buy him a house, so you can get out of this room.
One of those little pre-built houses. Bro, I always wonder, like, who buys these, You know the ones where you're, like, riding past Home Depot and they're just, like, out in front all the way at the end? Like, who the fuck's like, you know what? Hey, honey, I got a great idea. Let's buy a house.
Let's live there. But yeah, get that gift. We are going to be back tomorrow, as we announced earlier, for a SummerSlam preview show. So if you're a wrestling fan,